Hi friend, in this video we will be discussing about two commandlets. First is export CSV and second is import CSV. So we will see how these commandlets can help us. So let us start the video. So first of all we will discuss about export CSV, how this commandlet is useful for us and how we can use this commandlet. So using this commandlet we can create CSV file of the object. So if we have any object and we want to export that object into any CSV file, so in that case we can use this commandlet. And while exporting any object to CSV file, so each object is considered as single row in the CSV, and in each row each comma separated list, that is column in the CSV, is nothing but property of the object. And there is constraint with this commandlet that we should not use any format commandlets before using this commandlet called export CSV. In case we have used format commandlets and this commandlet receives any formatted object, so the output what CSV file will contain, so that will be having just format properties. It will not be having the actual object properties. And in case we want to export the selected properties of the object to the file, then just we can use this commandlet called select object. So select object will help us in selecting the particular properties, and those properties and its values will be exported to the file. So these are some points about this commandlet we should consider before using this one. So now we will move to another slide where we will be discussing about reverse of this commandlet called import CSV. So we have seen how we can export any object to CSV file using export CSV commandlet. But if the file is already available in the system and we want to import that file into PowerShell and we want to use as object, then we can use commandlet called import CSV. So this commandlet create table like custom object from items in CSV file. So whatever the item CSV file will contain, so those data will be converted into custom object. So after we import the data from CSV to PowerShell, so each column of the CSV file will become property, and whatever the item will be there in each row, so that will become the property values. So this is how it will be when we import the data from CSV to PowerShell. And this commandlet works on any CSV file. So the CSV file can be generated either from export CSV commandlet only, or it can be generated from other source also. So there is no constraint how and from where the CSV file is generated. And whatever the first row will be there in CSV, so that will be considered as column header. So unless and until we specify that particular row only should be the header of CSV, so in that case always first row will be considered as column header. And in case in CSV any header row is empty or null value, then PowerShell will insert default header row name, and with that we will be getting a warning message. So these are some points about import CSV commandlet. And now we will practice some hands-on example for both the commandlets export CSV and import CSV, so that we can get practical knowledge how these commandlet work and how we can use. So now let's start the hands-on. I have opened PowerShell IESE here. Now we will be trying examples one by one. So first of all we will be getting one commandlet called get process, and out of that we will be selecting some properties and we will be exporting those to CSV file. So in the first section I have used get process commandlet, and I have specified which process I want to fetch. So here I have used WMI PRVAC, that is the name of process, and after that I am selecting some properties from that one, and those properties are base priority ID, session ID and working set. Again I have applied pipeline, and at last I am using main commandlet called export CSV, and after that I have specified the file path. Dot means it will be created in current directory only, and here I have used node type information, so the type will not be exported to CSV file. So now let's execute this line. So I have executed, and as soon as I executed, here in home directory one new file got created. So if I open this file, you can see here we are having 4 columns. First is base priority, ID, session ID and working set. So this is called the header of CSV. This is also called property when we refer the object, and each row you are seeing that is considered one object, and for each row there is value in each column. So those are nothing but property, and the data what is there in each column in each row, that is called property values. So as you can see here that here also I have specified those, and same has been written to the CSV file. Now let's move to other example in this one. So I have used same commandlet called get process once again, but here I am not specifying any particular process name. And after that I am using commandlet called export CSV, and here we will be specifying the path for this one. So in this example we are getting all the processes, and after that we are writing those processes to file called processes1.csv. So now let's execute this one. Since when we are using the get process, so it will be fetching all the processes in the system, and those number will be high, so that is the reason it may take little more time. And now if you check in the path, here one file got created called processes1, and that is in the form of CSV. And if you open this one, you will see that when we don't specify the property here, so it will be selecting all the properties for this object and everything will be written to the file. So that is the reason you will see here it contains lot of headers and all the processes has been printed in this one. So this is how we can export either selected process and selected properties from the object, or just we can use everything default. And now that we have exported the object to CSV file, and if I want to import it once again in the PowerShell, so that we can use that data as object and we can apply methods and properties on the object. So to import the CSV, we will be using one commandlet called import CSV. So first of all, I will be creating one variable called $p. So whatever the data we will be importing, that will be stored into $p. So here is the commandlet called import CSV, and in path we will use / and processes1.csv. So after I have executed, if I try to print this one, so we will be getting everything displayed on the screen only. So if I execute this one now, you will see that everything has been printed on the screen only, since it contains lot of properties and that cannot be displayed in tabular format. So that is the reason we are getting into the list format, and left side you can see those are nothing but property names, and after the colon we are having the property values. So this is how we can export and import any CSV. And now if we will see while exporting how we can change the delimiter. So in CSV file by default all the columns will be separated by comma, but if I want to specify any other delimiter, so instead of using comma, if I want semicolon, so we can specify that as well. So again we will be seeing one example. I will use same commandlet called get process. Here I will change the name of file called processes2.csv, and in delimiter I will specify here as semicolon, and again we don't want in type information, so we will use parameter called no type information. So now we will see the output of this one. So the execution got completed, and as soon as the execution got completed, now you can see in this folder we are having one new file called processes2. So if I open this one into Notepad++, you will be seeing that each column is separated by here. Each column is separated by semicolon here. But in the case of previous one, each column is separated by comma only. So this is the processes1 file and this is the processes2 file. So this is the difference you can observe here. One is separated by comma and second is separated by semicolon. This happened because we have used here one parameter called delimiter, and we have specified the value of this one as semicolon. And by importing also, this delimiter matters. So if I want to import the same CSV file into PowerShell, so we will use again one variable called $p, and we will use command called import CSV, and in path we will use dot slash process2.csv, and here in delimiter we will use semicolon. So after I execute, it got imported. And if I want to verify the data, so we can use, and if we want it to be displayed in tabular format, previously every data was printed in list format, so we will have to use one commandlet called format table. So this time you will be seeing that all the thing has been printed in tabular format, and here since the space is not much, so that is the reason all the headers has not been printed. So whatever the headers could be occupied in this screen, so that much only has been displayed over here. So here we have seen how we can use delimiter while exporting and while importing the CSV. And now if we want to export using the current culture list separator, so first of all, if I want to verify what is the by default separator in the current culture, so we will use one commandlet called get culture, and from this one we will fetch the property called test info, and from this one we will see list separator. So you can see here we got comma. So by default when we try to export any object to CSV, so columns will be separated by comma. So again we will use commandlet called get process, and we can use export CSV, and in path we can specify, here we will give name as process 3, and here we will use one parameter called use culture, and again no type information. So now the third file got generated here, and if I see in notepad++, so again you will see here it is separated by comma. Since comma is by default in culture, so that is the reason we are getting here comma. Now we will try to import same file, and we will use the parameter called use culture. So here I will use command called import CSV, and in path again we will use processes3.csv, and here we will specify parameter called use culture. So after I execute, now you can see that whatever the data was there in CSV, so everything has been imported and it has been displayed on the screen. So we have seen here how we can use culture parameter while exporting and importing the CSV. And now we will see how we can append to the existing CSV. So if some data is already available in CSV file and we want to append the new data to the existing CSV, then we can use one parameter called append. So here we will see one example in this one. So first of all, I will create one variable called app service. So here this commandlet is getting the services whose display name is matching with application, and from that one we are selecting only display name and status of the services, and all the output what we are getting using this line, so that is getting stored into variable called app service. And now if I want to export the object which is there with app service, so we will use the variable name, and after pipeline again we can use export CSV commandlet, and we can specify the file name and path here. So after executing whatever the services list we got, so that will be exported to this file. So in this folder if we check once again, so we will see that one new file is available. So now if I open in Notepad++, you will be seeing that we are having two columns which is separated by comma here, and in the other rows we are having the display name of services. And since in the PowerShell we have specified display name and status, so that is the reason we are getting only to here, and here we have specified application. So you can see that everywhere application keyword is matching, so those services only has been listed over here. So now we have created one phrase CSV which contains the data of service called application keyword, and now we will be getting other service and we will try to append in the existing file. So here we will use one variable called bin service. This time we are getting different variable name. I have executed and got the service, and it has been stored into this variable. Now I will use this variable and will use export commandlet. So after executing this one, if I verify, so you will see that previously we had only this much data in this one, and after we have appended new data, so it contains other services as well. So this is how we have seen how we can use keyword called append while exporting object to CSV. And now we will see, if we use format commandlets, how the data is displayed when it is exported to CSV file. So first of all we will be using select object, and after that we will be using format table commandlet. So I will use one commandlet called get date. Using this one we get the current date in the system. After that we have used select object, and in this one we have specified property. So after executing this one, once again new file got created, and the name of that file is date time. So if I open this one with notepad++, and you will see here that this is the header we had used, that date time, day of the week, day of the year, and in the second row we are getting the value. So this time everything is working fine since we have used select object commandlet while selecting the object. And now we will see if we are using format table, so how the output getting displayed. So again we will be using same commandlet called get date, and in this time instead of select object we will be using format table, and in property we will specify same thing what we had used for select object, and again use export CSV, and in path specify F. So after I have executed, you will see that again new file got generated, that is F date time. So if we open this one with again notepad++, so you will see that it has given some data which we cannot understand. So this is the difference you can see here. In fdatetime.csv file we have used format table commandlet, and in datetime.csv we have just used select object. So while using the select object we are getting data everything properly, but when we use the format table, so we are not getting the proper data. So while using the export CSV we should not use any formatting commandlets. So this was the last example, and now we will move to other section of this topic. And this is how we have come to end of this topic, and to summarize we have learned about these commandlets called export CSV and import CSV, and we have also practiced some hands-on about these two commandlets, and we have seen how we can use and how it works. So I hope this was helpful to you, and that's all in today's video.